Hey bookmarks and bookworms, welcome back to the channel. Today is a very exciting video, one that we've been waiting for a while now. This is my live reaction to the Women's Prize longlist being announced today. I personally am really nervous anticipating what is going to be on this long list because from last year's experience, I think my trust in the judging panel of the Women's Prize has been slightly lessened, just because what happened last year was BookTube predicted, much as they did this year. There have been some great BookTube predictions videos out there, but last year also the predictions being made by booktubers were wildly different to what actually appeared on the long list last year, and not in a good way, not in the sense of the booktubers got it wrong, more in the sense of the booktubers got it right. And whatever the Women's Prize judges were thinking seemed to be just so out of left field that it just left most people feeling pretty baffled and not understanding what had happened. Will we see a repeat of last year in that sense, in that what I'm about to look at is going to be an entire video of books that no one's predicted and has more or less never heard of? If you've clicked on this video, you already know, more than likely, what's on the long list, and so you've clicked on this video to get my reaction in a negative way or a positive way, because you already know what's on the list, so you already know how this reaction video is going to play out before I do. So I'm very nervous, so I'm just going to play the video. Here we go.
The 2024 Women's Prize for Fiction, and I'm delighted to be able to share with you today.
Oh, right. This is going to inform what I am reading for the next 1 to 2 months. So I'm hoping for a great selection of books, as we all are. Oh, okay, right. Okay, so I've just seen Western Lane. We knew one of the Booker books would transition across, and it was Western Lane. I actually guessed that. I thought it was going to be Western Lane that was the one that came across. The other ones I haven't heard of. So this first one up is A Trace of Sun. I haven't heard of it. This may be bad again, like last year. Okay, Kate Grenville. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I don't typically get on with her writing, so I'm not overly enthusiastic about that one.
River East, River West by Aubrey Liskell is set in Shanghai.
River East, River West, somebody has predicted on BookTube, I just can't remember who.
It's original, it's funny, beautiful. The Blue Beautiful World by Karen Lord quite literally takes a knife to climate change and opens up what humanity.
Oh, okay, we have a climate change novel, fine, but I have never heard of this book. It wasn't on anyone's predictions list. This could very well be going the same way as last year, where it's a bunch of books that this particular group of women think are good, and then nobody else does. So this might be tough. This might be a tough year. The Maiden looks like your typical UK piece of historical fiction, maybe from some sort of modernist retelling, feminist retelling. So we'll see how that goes. I do like the fact that it's a thriller, but authors like Laura Purcell, who also is in this kind of genre, it's the writing that doesn't work for me, so I'm very skeptical about whether this historical thriller will work for me. Next up is Anne Enright's The Wren. I think most people thought this was going to be on there. I think it was a surprise to not see it on the Booker long list last year, because I think it was eligible for last year's long list, but so it's appeared here. No surprise, Anne Enright is a very well established, widely awarded author. I have tried this book, but the premise of this just doesn't appeal to me at all. It's about a mother describing a young love affair to her 2 adult children, and that just doesn't sound interesting enough to sustain an entire novel. So next up is In Defense of the Act, which she's just called an essay, and whether she genuinely means that, and it should therefore be a piece of non-fiction and not in this prize, or whether she doesn't mean essay, she doesn't mean non-fiction, this is actually a piece of fiction. So
Ordinary Human Failings.
Oh god, okay. Ordinary Human Failings by Megan Nolan's here. I know several people would be happy with this, but I've tried this and I didn't really think it was that great, so this is also not infusing me at all. This is also quite sad because we're over halfway through and I don't think there's been one book that I've been excited by so far. I feel like this might be the end for me in the Women's Prize. Just because last year was such a write-off and then this year's not looking promising at all. I think it's very telling when a book prize is not reflective of what is being predicted by BookTube, because BookTube actually, I would argue, has its finger on the pulse more than 5 women on a Women's Prize judging panel do. And yeah, I think that's where the issue with this prize lies and potentially will continue to lie. So we have up next Alicia Elliott, and then she fell. This one I have seen predicted, I think, by like one person.
Hangman, by my opinion.
Another one I've never heard of, Hangman. Never heard of it. This is very disappointing. I think there was a reason why I was nervous. I think I was nervous for good reason. At least Ben's happy. Soldier Sailors on the prize long list, so yeah, at least Ben's happy. That is a win. Night Bloom, okay, yeah, again, I'm not massively thrilled about this. This is, oh dear, how much have we got left? Enter Ghost, no way they went political. Okay, well, they did go political at least. So this is the Palestinian novel that I put on my predictions list, but I wasn't sure would even be considered by the women's long list. So it's on there, so I guess I can have a go at reading that one. That will be all right. 8 Lives of a Century-Old Trickster, again, one that no one's, I don't think, ever heard of. It's certainly not been doing the rounds on BookTube. This is really, really disappointing. Brotherless Nights, again, no, never heard of it. It wasn't predicted by YouTube. Oh, this is such a letdown. I can't believe that. So we have a bunch of mediocre crap. Okay, we have a long list like last year where no one's really seen this before, no one's really heard of it. Apart from Claire Kilroy and Anne Enright and Western Lane, fair enough. Kate Grenville, fine. Megan Nolan, fine. But everything else, that is, yeah, such a letdown. I mean, at least for me personally, I follow the International Booker, which has an amazing judging panel, and I'm hoping for good things when that long list is announced next week. So at least the one saving grace of all of this is that I will be reading, hopefully, some good books for the International Booker. But this does not set my soul on fire, definitely not. And so I will try a chapter of all of them. Some of them I have already read and some of them I've already DNF'd, but for the ones that I haven't, I will sample all of them and then continue with the ones that appeal and then ditch the rest. And a video for that sampling, I guess, of the long list will be coming up on this channel over the next coming weeks. But yeah, I've deliberately not checked social media, so I don't know any of your opinions right now. Make sure to leave them down in the comments below. I also haven't watched anybody else's video because I didn't want to get spoilers for what's on the list. So I will now go through everyone else's reaction to the prize, and who knows, maybe they will be similar to me, maybe they will be very optimistic and gleeful that these books have been chosen, but I doubt that very much. This is not boding well, and this is really disappointing in general. So we shall see what happens with this long list season. It's not off to the best start. Maybe I will read these samples and have a total change of heart and absolutely love them. But yeah, there's nothing there from what the women were describing in their brief synopsis of each book that's really shouting to me or jumping out at me as being interesting. So yeah, I'll be interested to hear your thoughts down in the comments below, guys, so do leave me your thoughts, and I shall see you very soon for my reaction to the International Book long list, which hopefully will be better than this one, very soon next week. Bye for now, guys.